Joe Burrow's transfer journey from Ohio State to LSU, a look into the rise of college football's most notable transfer. Joe Burrow, a redshirt junior, and Dwayne Haskins, a redshirt sophomore, gave us a quarterback battle that would change the landscape of college football. We start in August 2017. Backup quarterback redshirt sophomore Joe Burrow suffered a broken bone in his throwing hand and underwent surgery, causing him to miss the beginning of the season. This would mean redshirt freshman Dwayne Haskins would step in and fill the shoes as the number 2 quarterback behind multi-year starter JT Barrett. Dwayne remained as the second-string quarterback, and Ohio State needed him versus Michigan on the road. JT Barrett was warming up on the sideline in the pregame when a cameraman hit him in his knee with his camera, aggravating a pre-existing injury. JT would go on to start, but left the game in the third quarter limping off the field. In came in Dwayne Haskins, who put on a show, leading the Buckeyes to a come-from-behind win on the road versus their main rival. He went 6 of 7 for 94 yards and had huge plays, including this third down conversion.
Third down and 13 at the 47. Haskins delivers. Oh, what a catch and what a throw.
And this run to set up a score.
Haskins, play fake. Haskins in trouble. Haskins decides to run. Haskins with the first down and more. Look at the redshirt freshman come in and play ball.
JT would go on and take his final snap as a Buckeye. And even after that legendary performance versus the Wolverines, Dwayne still needed to compete with Joe for the starting job. March 24th, 2018, an interview with Joe Burrow. At this point, the transfer rumors were in full swing.
Do you have to win it to stay, Joe? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm not really sure. I would evaluate it after the spring ball, see what they tell me and see what our meetings are like, but I'm 100% focused on this spring.
April 14th, 2018, the Ohio State spring game. Joe Burrow went 15 of 22 for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dwayne Haskins went 9 of 19 for 120 yards. But Joe started to get a feeling that he wasn't going to win the starting job. While making an appearance on the Full Send podcast, Joe said that he started to see the writing on the wall that Dwayne was going to be named the starter.
The writing was on the wall. Dwayne had just gone in. So I broke my hand before my last season at Ohio State and kind of set me back. And then JT got hurt against Michigan. Dwayne went in and played awesome, ended up coming back and winning the game. And so I kind of knew saw the writing on the wall that he was going to kind of be the guy.
May 8th, 2018, Joe announces on Twitter that he is leaving Ohio State. May 18th, 2018, Joe announces on Twitter that he'll be playing at LSU. The transfer portal in 2018 wasn't what it is now. There was no one-time transfer rule. If you were an undergrad, you were not immediately eligible to play unless you received a hardship waiver. If you were a graduate, which Joe Burrow was, then you were immediately eligible to play. You also didn't have windows to transfer like you do now, so Joe didn't have to worry about his eligibility or for a transfer window to open up. So why LSU? Bill Bush was the safeties coach at LSU, but he was previously at Ohio State. He helped spark that connection between Joe and Coach O.
So Bill Bush was the safeties coach at LSU, and he was at Ohio State my first year. He was the, special teams assistant, I think. And he told Coach O about me and then went on a visit to LSU. And I don't know if you guys have ever talked to Coach O, but he's pretty convincing.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of it for me.
The 2018 season, Joe's first year at LSU. Joe finished with 2,894 passing yards, 16 passing touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. LSU went 10-3. In case you were curious, that same season, Dwayne Haskins finished with 4,831 passing yards, 50 passing touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Then, what is often referred to as the hit that made Joe Burrow. In the Fiesta game versus UCF, Joe threw an interception and took a huge hit, but he shook that off and threw for 394 yards and 4 touchdowns, leading to a win, also ending UCF's 25-game winning streak. The 2019 season, Joe's second year at LSU. We all know how insane of a season this was. 60 touchdown passes, Heisman Trophy, national champs, 15-0. Maybe it was the hand injury at Ohio State that changed the course of his career, or maybe it was the hit versus UCF, or maybe Joe was just going to excel no matter the circumstance.